Fitchburg City Council. I now call this meeting to order. Please be advised that FATV is conducting audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask that anyone else in the audience who is recording this meeting please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating your name and city of residence. Seeing none, at this time, I ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. Councillor Fleming, would you please lead us in the salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councillor Fleming.
Here.
Councillor Green.
Here.
Councillor Schultz.
Here.
Councillor Van Hazinga.
Here.
Councillor Walsh.
Here.
President Zarella.
Here.
Councillor Bolshevin.
Present.
Councillor Kuchar.
Here.
Councillor Cragen.
Here.
Councillor Cruz.
Here.
Councillor Di Natale. We have 10 members present out of 11.
Thank you very much. We have no one signed in remotely for public forum. Anyone in the audience wishing to participate in public forum, please approach the center podium, identify yourself by name and city of residence, and the agenda item on which you wish to speak.
Jacqueline Wetchy, Fitchburg resident 62-25. At the ward meeting, the chief was asked how many officers we have and how many cruisers. He didn't really answer the second question, instead stating it is 5 to 6 cruisers per shift. It's important to know how many the police department has in total. It's likely we will face layoffs this year. $102,210 would fund the salary of 2 entry-level positions in the city or 1 higher level 1. Is the city planning to buy the lowest cost base model vehicle or one that is larger than needed and uses more gas than is needed? Imagine you're a new employee without seniority and you lose your job because someone wants to ride around in a vehicle that is more expensive than necessary, a vehicle that maybe isn't needed at all. How many of the miles racked up with these vehicles are not necessary? How many are taken home by employees at night? How many are used for frivolous reasons? As an example, a contingent of Fitchburg police officers was sent to the southern end of the county to attend a funeral for a horse. I kid you not. Let's get serious about controlling costs in the city. It's long overdue. The mayor promised a capital needs commission. It hasn't happened. She promised a fleet management plan. It hasn't happened. It shouldn't be the finance committee's job to look at things like the average cost to own of various vehicles to determine what is the most economical option for the city. But given the absence of leadership on her part, it does fall to you because we don't have anyone else to represent us.
Anyone else wishing to speak? All right. Announcements. The next meeting of the Widowed Helping Widowed Support Group will take place on Thursday, March 27th from 4 until 5:30 p.m. in room 205 at the Fitchburg State University Recreation Center, 130 North Street. Kelly Lynn and Bernie Schultz will co-facilitate the meeting. The Lenten Fish Fry continues to take place this coming Friday, March 12th at Madonna of the Holy Rosary, 118 Teresa Street, from 4:30 until 7 p.m. April 11th will be the last Friday for the fish fry this year. The Montechusett Martin Luther King Coalition would like to invite you to its Wrestling with Racism discussion on supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. The DEI discussion will take place on Zoom Thursday, March 20th for 1 hour from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Eric Mbunwe and Emily Schultz will co-facilitate the discussion. To get a free Zoom link for the discussion, you can go to Eventbrite for the link or contact the MMLKC President Linda Mason at 978-400-0580 for the link. The Stratton Players will be putting on Alice in Wonderland at Christchurch, 569 Main Street in Fitchburg on Fridays, April 4th and 11th at 7:30 p.m. and Saturdays, April 5th and 12th, 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Tickets are $15 or $10 for students and seniors. And On the 5th, the Saturday the 5th, there will be a Mad Hatter Tea Party luncheon catered by Finicky Fork at the theater. Seating starts at 12:15, and again, the show is at 2. And Saturday, April 12th, will be a dinner and a show at Slattery's, a benefit for the Women's Fund of the Community Foundation of North Central Mass. Email strattonplayers@gmail.com for all ticketing. A spring equinox local history walk, Fitchburg's Fabulous Females, will take place Thursday, March 20th at 5:30 p.m., meeting at the Forest Hill Cemetery at the main Mount Elam Road entrance, where attendees will learn about World War II veteran Isabel Demon, historian Barbara Crocker, artist Adeline Adams, benefactor Faye Crocker, and more. This is a partnership event with the Women's Fund of North Central Massachusetts Community Foundation and Friends of Fitchburg Cemeteries. It's pay what you can, and all are welcome. It will be a walk from Mount Elam Road over the hill to the Rollstone Street side of Forest Hill Cemetery. You can call 978-320-1335 or email friendsoffitchburgcemeteries@gmail.com. And lastly, but not least, Ignite and Elevate, the Women's Fund annual celebration, will be March 26th at the Fitchburg State University. You can call 978-362-9680 to RSVP.
If you don't mind, it's also the this Thursday, March 20th, is also the Ward 3 meeting at 6 o'clock right here in the Legislative Building. I forgot to give you notice.
No problem. Thank you very much. And with that, you're up. A report of the Appointments Committee. Councillor Kuchar.
Thank you very much. The Appointments Committee met earlier this evening. We took up 3 appointments, 2 new appointments to the Fitchburg Cultural Council. Nancy C. Morin and Milagros Millie Whitfield, both were unanimously approved. And a reappointment to the Fitchburg Council on Aging, term to expire March 18th, 2028, George Burke, and he was unanimously approved as well.
Motion to approve.
On the motion.
On the motion, Councillor Boschman.
Mr. President, I just want to make a correction to the young man to my left and to the young lady out there. The Clegon happens to be the best, not to South Fitchburg, but Clegon. So I just want you to know that. Thank you.
I have a motion and second. Do I have any objection? Seeing none, it is unanimously approved. Do we have anyone from the Records Committee who will give a report? Councillor Walsh.
Since Councillor Di Natale is not here, I'm glad to fill in. I have reviewed the records. The committee has reviewed the records, and they appear to be in order.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion and second to approve the report of the Committee on Records. Any objections? Seeing none, they are approved. We have 4 new appointments from Her Honor the Mayor. New appointment of Barbara Asimakopoulos to the position of Municipal Hearing Officer for a 3-year period with an evaluation after 6 months. And new appointment of Brian Gallagher as a member of the Fitchburg Historical Commission for a term scheduled to expire on April 1st, 2028. Those will both stand referred to the Appointments Committee. We also have appointments of 2 new special police officers, Kerry C. Siomos and Timothy M. McDermott. And those, I believe, we are going to have sworn in this evening. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you, councillors. It is my honor to present our retired Sergeant Simos and retired Lieutenant McDermott tonight. They both served the city of Fitchburg for nearly 30 years, and I am very pleased to say that they want to continue serving the city of Fitchburg. Special police officers are held to the same standards that a regular full-time police officer is held to. They have to undergo the same training every year. They have to be certified by post every 3 years, and we need everybody we can with road safety and traffic details in the summer. We have a lot of construction coming up this year, and having 2 officers out there with 30 years experience each will be a benefit to not only the department but the city. So I appreciate your consideration.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
are we supposed to go suspension of the rules on that?
No.
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
No, it is treated akin to a promotion
Oh, okay.
in that it won't require council approval.
All right.
Even though it's in as a new appointment?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
All right. If you're ready, Madam Clerk. And we'll clear out.
Just tuck your chairs in for pictures.
I do solemnly promise and swear that I will faithfully and impartially and to the best of my knowledge and ability perform and discharge all duties incumbent upon me as a special police officer for the city of Fitchburg. So help me God. Congratulations.
You don't want to take the pictures? They can take it.
All right. We have communication from the Fitchburg Retirement Board notifying that the Fitchburg Retirement Board will be conducting a public meeting on Tuesday, April 22nd at 9:50 a.m. in the North Meeting Room located on the 3rd floor of City Hall. The purpose of the meeting is to address the increase to the fiscal year 2026 cost of living allowance paid to those receiving retirement benefits from the Fitchburg retirement system. And next up, we have a special presentation by Nate Glennie, FATV Executive Director.
All right. Thank you, councilors. President, give me a second here. I need to screen share. You'd think I know how to do this by now, but work with me here. All right. Thank you all for the time this evening to present a short presentation to you. I do want you to time me because I don't want to go over. Anywho, Nathan Glennie, officially Executive Director of Fitchburg Access Television. Been there for 5 years, but I've been involved with the organization since the early mid-90s as a volunteer. But we established ourselves back in 1987, and we are actually celebrating 2 years being on Main Street. It's been a wonderful adventure to get out of Kimball Street, to move to Main Street. And if you haven't been, which I do believe most of you have, you know, feel free to stop by. Happy to give you a tour, and that goes for anybody in the public viewing today. I would welcome them to our facility to see the great gem that we are and what we provide to our community. Okay. Next. All right. Some of you may not know the faces who lead our organization on our board of directors. So I felt it was a good opportunity to share that with everybody tonight. Our president of the board of directors is Glenn Kinney, longtime Fitchburg resident. into the DJ world, so he understands audio-visual stuff. Mr. Todd Govin is our vice president. Ellen Doust is our clerk. And Sharon Bernard, who some of you may recall, is our board treasurer. Moving on, we have Matt Brune, Kat Deal, Luisa Fernandez, Scott May, George Marjanian, Dr. Kyle Moody, and Francisco Ramos. 11 bosses I report to. And let me tell you, they are wonderful to work with. They are very supportive, and they are rolling up their sleeves to get ready for the next chapters of what FATV will be getting into. I have to really say thank you to everyone involved with local access television. Some of you are on programs. Some of you are guests on programs. You're all a part of a council meeting tonight, which is being broadcast. There are many, many faces to the volunteers. These are only some of the many that we have that are involved with FATV. We're a small and mighty group. It's currently 3 full-time staff members and some part-time help, and we get the job done. I am very proud of our team and what we accomplish, and we do it each and every day. Sometimes it lands on a Saturday or a Sunday or a holiday, but we're there to keep everyone connected to what's happening in our community. I can't be more prouder of our team, and, well, you all know the services we provide, but I want to make sure you do know. But before I move on, so just some various events. The center picture, that was debate night. No, I'm sorry, election night. And there's a whole crew of us. I think last municipal election cycle, we had 18 volunteers, 18 staff and volunteers to get those numbers out to you. And we had it done, I don't know, within 90 minutes of the polls closing. We worked very collaboratively with our wonderful city clerk, Ms. Bellata, and it all comes together, and everybody knows rather quickly. The bottom left corner, I wanted to share that because that was actually the first taping inside of our new studios with none other than Barbara Foster, who is starting her 50th season of her program. It's incredible. I call it the hit list, but the people who she's interviewed include Johnny Cash, Michael Dukakis. I can go on and on. Wonderful person involved. Fenway Park, that was, of course, the Thanksgiving Day game over there. That was our crew after a long day of setting up, doing the game, and driving back home. One thing that people may not know is that we have a long-standing partnership with Fitchburg State University, and we actually co-teach a multi-camera class in the fall, and we'll be starting our 10th year doing that this coming fall. So we're utilized by many, many local organizations, residents, and community partners. And again, just some of the pictures to highlight some of the work. So yes, what is local access television? Let's get into real boring stuff tonight. We operate the PEG channels, okay? Public Education Government. We kind of rebranded the education and we call it the Civic Channel now. It's also the channel that we have available in high definition on cable television. Ooh. Who has cable television? A show of hands.
I do.
Excellent, excellent. We'll get to that in a little bit. We are an independent, not-for-profit, 501c3 organization, all right? And we are funded by the cable subscribers of the city of Fitchburg alone. That is our revenue source. Well, we are wonderful city partners, and we help out as much as we can with the small staff that we have. One thing I wanted to convey tonight that I think is important is, well, we're not a department of the city, but we work intimately with it. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. But a lot of the times, people may not understand that you have a financial transfer that we request every quarter. That is not city tax dollars. We're not funded by the general fund. We are funded by the license agreements that the city of Fitchburg has with Comcast and Verizon. And we are a line item on that bill to support local television. So That's probably the most boring part of my presentation tonight, so thanks for bearing with me. Between the members and staff of FATV, we collectively provided 680 hours of community programming in 2024. What does that mean? Monday through Friday, if you were to calculate it, it's over 2 hours of new programming a day. We try to take Saturday and Sunday off. We televised 103 sporting events, 220 government meetings, thank you, Daniel Bolak, 60 civic community events, so from 4th of July to Veterans Day to Memorial Day to Police Memorial Sunday, and on and on and on. And 315 member-produced programs. That's an anomaly. Not many local access stations have that type of involvement from the community members. We're blessed that we do have that. People know about us, people utilize the services that we have, and we want to continue that. That's why we moved to Main Street, to make it, hey, here you are. Our door's open. There are some rules and stipulations that we have to abide by because we are a nonprofit, so you can't do business ventures with us for free, and that sometimes doesn't bring people through our door. We're more of a community connection and information superhighway, if you will, in the media realm. Well, we foster the local debates and candidate messages, which we have a municipal election cycle coming up, and eventually in the summer you'll get a communication from us to welcome you and record your 5-minute statement. We provide the community bulletin board. If you don't know about it, well, you can find it in various locations, like on our cable channels, streaming channels, on the web, on our webpage. But we've also started something new. We've actually set up TVs at the library and the senior center, and we just display the community bulletin board at that 2 locations. Community anchor institutions. It's another way to reach our constituents on non-advertising things. All right, that's the key here, right? We want people to come together and gather and celebrate and enjoy one another, and we need a way to help get that message out. We're just one medium of many, of course, but I want to make sure people know that, you know, there's that community bulletin board that's out there. And I had to include this. This was recent. A fun fact: the Fitchburg State Hockey Championship game, MASCAC. It was played on March 8th, and this was one of our most viewed things. 3,400 live viewers for that one hockey game. It was a team of 9 of us that did the broadcast. We had 4 cameras, replays, graphic. We do it up. And it was a fun game. A lot of people had said that they've never seen the Wallace Civic Center that packed in 2 decades. It was 2,000 deep. It was awesome. And we were there to document it. That's what we do. It's why we're here, partly, right? It was fun. But we're also here to provide our community with access to broadcast and content creation equipment. So yes, we got that broadcast studio. I know you've seen a show on it, or you've been on the set. The podcast studio. Some people might not know that we have a separate studio dedicated to podcasting. All of our legislative meetings that we record are available in podcast format. So if you want to drive and listen to a meeting, we're on a podcast. And maybe some people don't know that, but check out our website, fatv.org, and you'll find out some more information about podcasts. Maybe check out the local shows. They're very unique, but they're very informative. Training and channel time, of course. We train you with the equipment we have. We offer the channel time to broadcast that program. Media preservation suite. We have a fairly new piece of equipment, 16 35 millimeter film digitizer. You're not going to find that in many locations. It is a service we have, and reach out to us if you'd like to explore that further. We can digitize old baby films, right, on the old palm quarters. If you have a format that you can't play, we probably can. And if we can't, well, we're going to try to find a way to get it done. Editing stations. We use Adobe products to do editing. Premiere Pro is what it's called. Portable recording equipment. You want to go out and take a hike and go film something? We have that equipment. We train you. You're now certified to use it. You didn't start the timer. A vast library of archives. All right. I feel very confident about what we have back to about the year 2000. We just had somebody, actually with Fitchburg State, reach out, and they wanted some hockey games from '05. We're going to put them on YouTube, and they'll be able to watch it and relive those memories and experiences. And of course, if you're a member, you have access to the David Clark Community Room. We dedicated our conference room to David Clark, who served FATV as a board member, in addition to being a play-by-play commentator for local high school sports. And so we have the community room in his honor. And if you've seen us at Elliott Field or Crocker Field, you know that we have a remote production truck. It's a gem. It's an expensive gem, but we maintain it. We have it garaged and obviously keep it safe. All right, Fitchburg's Upper Common webcam. You might have seen it on a local broadcast out of Boston, WCVB, a former employer of mine. So, fun fact, since November of 2020, 125,000 views. A lot of hours watched, 34,000 in the last 12 months alone. This is a beautiful picture of the Upper Common, and it makes Fitchburg look like a place you want to get to and go to. Yeah, there's snow and stuff, but there's foliage. There's also the fountain, the gazebo. It's a nice shot of Fitchburg. And, well, people are seeing it. It's getting out there. Here's some fun facts about where the top countries are from viewing us. UK, Brazil, France, Canada. Of course, the United States as well. Yes, you know that we're on cable television. If you don't know, we have a free app. We don't monitor anything. We don't data mine. It is free to download. You can watch us on a streaming app. You can watch us on your phone, iOS or Android device. Many locations. Our HD channel is located way up there, FiOS 2137, Comcast 1074. That is the Civic channel only. They only gave us one. And with sports, it's fast motion, and so higher frame rates are better for that purpose. Now the sad part, our cable subscribers. The heyday of cable subscriptions was back in 2015, 2016, where we saw in Fitchburg 12,600 cable subscribers. And you can see when FiOS came in 2009 and offered their service in the community, and you could see that Comcast lost some people and Verizon gained some people. But the blue line is the trajectory of the overall cable subscriptions. In May, the state will release the 2024 numbers. I don't want to see what they are, because obviously the trajectory can't be better. We're down to 6,600 cable subscribers in 2023, and that's the financial sheet. And I don't want to scare anyone in this room, all right? We are in a good position. We are not going to shut the doors in 3 to 5 years, but we need to figure this thing out. And this is beyond Fitchburg. This is a state thing. It's even a federal thing. But let's worry about Fitchburg, right? Let's look at the state. And the state has an act to modernize community media funding. And what does that entail? All right. Well, I already said some of you may be viewing us on a streaming platform. They're not paying into this system to keep it going. The cable subscribers are the ones who are funding our operations right now. But we know that people are watching us via streaming devices, right? And we don't want to stop that. And how do we fix that? Well, that's state legislation. We're trying to get that through. It's a process, just like anything else. But we don't receive streaming from funding from the streaming providers. The proposed state legislation is hoping to change that with these two bills. This is the 4th legislative session that we, so the state, has tried to enact a state streaming bill. Because everybody knows the numbers, they're declining, right? Cable subscribers funding, it's going down. We need to figure this out, we need to get it done, because if it weren't for us, I don't think the city can take on another employee to do AV services that we do. I don't think people are going to be seeing their son or daughter playing sports. Who's going to cover the 4th of July parade? The civic events that we do. I want to be there. I want our team to be there. I want Fitchburg to be connected. I want the grandmother in Florida to be able to see that first goal. All right? I want you guys to educate our residents on what you guys are doing each and every day, working hard and diligently for our community. But without us, I'm sure there may be a way, but I don't know that right now. And so S41 has been referred to a committee, and I plan to, just like I did last legislative session, drive to Beacon Hill and testify in front of that committee, because I am passionate and I know the work that we are doing is valid and important, and we got to continue it. So now I put you on the spot. I'm sorry. I ask that we can work together and draft up a resolution with your support and approval, of course, to endorse the bill. We need to get everybody on board with this. We need the Mass Mayors Association, AARP. We need everybody. We need every 351 communities, towns in the city of, in the state of Massachusetts to vote for, advocate for this bill. It's important because while we may be okay, the smaller towns, they're going to be shutting their doors pretty soon. They're not going to be able to absorb these types of financial hits much longer. So I didn't want to scare anybody, but I think it's important that we educate where we are and what we do. Again, happy to give anybody a tour, happy to set up a meeting and talk more about this. To anybody in the viewing community, reach out. We're accessible. We're at 780 Main Street. Happy to give you a tour. Keep an eye. We're going to host an open house. We have the Boulder Award dinner coming up pretty soon, first Thursday in May. But thank you all for your time, and I appreciate this opportunity to share this information with you tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Green.
Yeah. Nate, can you share with us or make available the how the wording on that resolution is written up and get it to us?
I can do that, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And, you know, I'm sorry, Councillor Cragen?
Wow, Mr. Glennie, thank you so much for bringing this forward. I knew this was in the works, and I speak from a position of being a frequent flyer at FATV. I do a poetry podcast with Paula Giaquinto. We do about 2 of them a month, and it's a remarkable professional level facility that you have. And I'm really concerned about, you know, that graphic, like that downward, that we have got. FATV has only gotten bigger and better. I remember being on Barbara's show sometime in the 90s when it was on the storefront on Route 12, and from that to the South Street School to Laurel Street, and then now to 780 Main Street, it's you know, it reflects a city on the move, and it reflects a city on the rise, because FATV provides what we do not have in other forums, which is accurate, presented information about governance and about city events and about city you know, concerns. Anyway, I wanted to say thank you for coming. I did have a question, and the question is this. My heart just like rose when I saw you put the FATV sign out. I think it's 2 years now that you put the red sign out. It was during the pandemic, and it was amazing at night to see that sign out there. But you can only see it like driving up Main Street when you just kind of when you just kind of go right past the City Hall. And I'm wondering, is there any way of having a sign that's a little closer to Main Street, because you guys are there, you know, you're a business, you're there like full-time as well as the weekends. And I think that visibility would be a really, you know, an additional great asset for downtown. And I'm looking over at Mary Jo and Liz as well, because that's their realm also, and as well as the zoning board, et cetera. But I just wanted to put that out there. I love the FATV sign, love to see more visibility.
Thank you. We'll try to work on that. And if I may, share this one little quick tidbit. When I came on, we were doing 6 legislative meetings a month, 2 finance, 2 school committee, and 2 city council. I think we're up to 24 meetings a month now. It's a big portfolio of what we do,
Yeah.
but it's important. It's valid. And thank you. I'd love to, you know, maybe get a little more signage out there, but in due time. Thank you.
Oh, go right ahead.
I just want to thank you for all the work that FATV does to support the city. I can tell you that your work behind the scenes, helping orchestrate these city council meetings and other legislative meetings is absolutely invaluable, that we could not do it without the support of FATV. Just the value of also being able to broadcast it to residents in the city, that they can watch and see what's happening, because the more people see what's happening, what goes into our government actions, the better. And also the contributions you make to our civic life in the city. That I love. There are opportunities or occasions where I've had the opportunity to watch my daughter play field hockey for Fitchburg High on FATV, and that was always great. My wife actually was on a business trip in Ireland and was able to watch her sons win the PAL basketball championship because it was broadcast. And it's great that we have that civic engagement, that we can show our youth playing sports, we can show public interest programs, we can show government programs. We have that all available. So I greatly appreciate all the work you guys do.
Thank you. And I mean, there's tons of things we do. Another important note, the public channel and the government channel has live captions available. So this meeting has captions available in English and Spanish, on cable TV, on streaming, and that's helpful in so many ways. And that's a service that isn't widely seen on public access.
Oh, and I forgot to mention one of the biggest assets or contributions you make is maintaining this enormous catalog of all the past meetings. And if you hear that something happened at a meeting last week, last month, last year, you can go to your website and you can look it up and you can watch it. And it's often divided into chapters, and you can find the particular issue that you want to learn about, and you can find that information. And without your contribution, we don't have that available. You can read minutes, and I'd much rather watch the video. So.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Councilor Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I just want to echo the sentiments FATV that we need to preserve and keep here. And if anybody would like, in addition to calling your Senator Cronin and Krishmerik regarding an act to modernize funding for community media programming, you can also contact the chair of the committee it's applied to. The committee was sent to, Advanced Information Technology, Internet, and Cybersecurity. That's Senator Moore and Rep. Bouvier, Farley Bouvier. So if you want to advocate for this bill, those are the people to get in touch with. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor. Yeah, I'll second the sentiment, second, third, fourth, as many as I can, the sentiments that have already been made, and just say, you know, this has, I've seen other local access channels. Now, I'm not going to name any names because I'm not looking to drag anyone, but I've seen other local access channels, and they're, I think, what most people kind of by stereotype expect to see. You know, kind of low resolution, very, very basic, very kind of plant a camera somewhere and walk away until the meeting's over kind of thing. The quality that we receive from FATV can't be overstated. And I have never, in my time as president of the council, I've never had occasion to approach Nate or Dan or anyone else with a request that wasn't immediately and enthusiastically taken care of. Sometimes even before I think to ask for it. So like this very nice timer system, which was apparently already in the works before I mentioned it.
For community partners.
Exactly. And so I hope that we will all do whatever we can to help support FATV and ensure that we can continue to have access to this excellent resource in the city of Fitchburg. Councilor Schultz.
I was just going to say the 680 hours of programming that you do are just invaluable for informing the public, Nate. And I have one more slot in May. You've been covering the community, my community meetings for quite a few years now. I'd love to have you come to the May meeting. It's going to be on May 14th. So.
Are you putting me on the spot, sir?
If you have the time, yeah. I'd love to have you as a guest.
Send me an email. And okay. Councilor Zarella, what I like to say is Fitchburg can sit with the best of them at the table, from Boston to Worcester to Springfield. We're not out of place when we sit at that table. So,
absolutely.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Next up, we have the report of the City Property Committee. Councillor Van Hazinga.
Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier this evening, the City Property Committee met and took up two items. The first was 5825, which authorized the mayor to enter into an extension of a deed restriction for the property at 21 Market Street in Fitchburg. This property was sold by the city in 2020 with a provision that if it was not developed in a certain time period, it could be taken back by the city. Due to a number of events, not the least of which was the COVID epidemic, it did not get developed in that time. However, the property has since sold to a new owner with a new development plan, and the city would like to see it move forward, but we would like to preserve our ability to take the property back if it does not get developed. So the committee voted 2-1 to approve the order. The second was 3724, that 84 North Street, which is Assessor's Block Map 44, Block 110, Lot 0, be declared as surplus property. This is a very small 4,700 square foot lot with very limited frontage on North Street. It is very difficult to develop due to its small size and limited frontage. At one point, the college was interested in purchasing it from the city, as they own the neighboring parcels to the north and south. The college is not interested in that any longer. However, due to changes in how properties taken through tax lien are handled, if the city wishes to keep the property, we do have to make an equity payment to the previous property owner. So what the city would like to do is to put it up for sale. And if it's sold, if there's equity after the sale, then that would go to the previous property owner. We get our back taxes back, and hopefully something happens with the property. So the committee did vote 3-0 to approve the petition.
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Do I have any objection? Seeing none, it is approved. Report of the Economic Development Committee. Councillor Cragen.
Thank you. We met tonight. Our item on the agenda was, as you can see, 059-25, a presentation by Liz Murphy, Executive Director of Community Development, to request approval of a TIE agreement for 533 Main Street. And this was unanimously approved, and I wanted to include the fact that the Waverly company that is doing this development, this is the third development that they're working on in Fitchburg. They have taken a vacant building, a building that has been, according to Councillor Van Hazinga, just abandoned for decades. And they're turning Blight into 17 market rate apartments plus storefront that we will be able to benefit from tax-wise sooner than the apartments that they are in the process of constructing. They're only charging $10 to $12 a square foot for this project. And it's remarkable, to see this happen. And it's very exciting to be in this meeting to, experience these stories unfolding. So thank you, Director Murphy. We also had presentations from Director Bohart about a lot of different projects, including the Water Street Corridor study, working on a strategy to have Fitchburg be declared a cultural district. And I remember when we first attempted to do this 10 years ago, we got so far and then no farther, and that would actually put us in line for a lot of benefit for the city of Fitchburg. So this is something we want to watch really carefully. The RFP for the airport, you may recall hearing in the economic development update that, the RFP was going to go live for the potential restaurant at the airport. Well, it's gone live and there's interest. So people have gotten the message and they're reaching back to the city. Also, the Dickinson building does have a new owner. And I think I mentioned the which is, that's that beautiful building at the very beginning of Main Street with formerly Trist and Distari and so forth. So really great to have new hands on that. Also, the Water Street Corridor study, you may recall, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that there was a 9 a.m. and then a 4:30 p.m. A community meeting about Water Street, and so that was held here and at the City Hall, and a lot of people came and expressed their interest because that is the walkway to Fitchburg. And again, the rail trail, newly developed, absolutely beautiful, runs right alongside it, parallel. So there's a lot that is going on, and it's unfolding over time, a lot of time, but there's a lot to keep up with. So Director Bohart is going to have minutes for you, and this is pretty much covers it. Other members, did I cover everything, or was there something to add? We're good. Okay, good. Yep, there it is.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, before we take a motion, I got some questions on the tie. I'll ask Liz Murphy, if that's okay.
Go ahead. It is before the council.
Liz Murphy, I got a couple of questions underneath the tie. Under Chapter 60, Section 62A in the tax code, I was told that you can't go for a 10-year tax thing. You have to do it in 2 years after you owe back taxes. You know anything of that?
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. I am not familiar with that piece of code that you. I'd have to go look it up.
Oh, because I was talking to. That's why I asked you. I wouldn't have never asked the question because I asked, "What's her name?" to that, and she said, "See you," because you knew all about it. The treasurer.
Could you? Are you able to hum a few bars of what that code says?
What's that?
Could you tell? Can you? Are you able to paraphrase what that code says? I just don't know it by that number.
The way it was told to me, I didn't look it up because I was on my way out the door. But it was told to me that you can only do it for 2 years underneath state law on the if they owe back taxes, and they have to pay it all back.
That we can't do what in
10 years. Go 10 years.
So, well,
if I'm reading what I get told.
The new tax law allows us to do tax agreements for up to 10 years. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yes, we can do not 2 years, 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. That it went from. It actually went from 5 years to 10 years.
Okay.
So now people have a longer period of time to pay back back taxes. That
we just passed that in council.
Yeah.
The tax lien
last month, I think. Yes.
Did we? I don't remember that. All right. And the other thing I wanted, where did you come up? I'd like to know where you came up with the $365,000 as a base value, $589.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly where that comes from. Let me just pull out, if I can find it. I'm sorry, I had a lot of meetings this evening, so one of my papers has that calculation here, in case you asked. Here we go. So the base value is calculated by taking the total square footage of the property.
Right.
Looking at the commercial square footage of the property, so the total square footage is 24,708 square feet. The commercial property footage is 4,500 square feet. So then you come up with the residential only is 20,208 square feet. So that's 82% of the square footage is going to be residential. So then you take that number, 82%, and you look at the current assessed value and multiply it by 0.82. So that's where that base value of $365,589 comes from. That's actually a prescriptive formula that's dictated by the state legislation that enacts TIE. So that's not something that we can to be flexible on. It's just a formula.
Oh, it's just,
Yeah.
And my final question, I think, on the 12 years, if I read what you gave me in the package, that doesn't start July 1st of this year. That starts at the completion of all the apartments.
That's correct.
So the apartment, did we set a time limit to the young man back there saying you have to be done in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 or 6?
No, because we didn't sell the property to them.
Oh, so we're just basing the 12 years. So if it takes them 8 years to do the project, it's 8 years plus 12 is 20 years.
Theoretically, that may be correct, but I would want to go back and look at whether or not a tie agreement and the HDIP tax credits have to be used within a specific period of time. I don't know the answer to that. Nobody's ever proposed waiting that long.
That was the only reason why I brought it up, because when I was reading this, I wasn't sure about it. I said, geez, that's a long time. It says the agreement doesn't start until the project is completed.
That's correct. Right, because we wouldn't have that higher tax valuation until they actually make improvements.
All right. All right, that would probably be it for me. I yield the floor.
All right, anyone else?
Motion approved.
Second.
I have a motion and second to approve. If there's no objection, it is approved. Report of the Finance Committee. Councillor Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met on March 12th, took up a handful of items. The first being 025-25, ordered the City of Fitchburg appropriates from available funds the sum of $35,000 to facilities, contracted services for critical equipment repairs and maintenance at City Hall and the Legislative Building. That was given leave to withdraw. The next four were unanimously approved. Order the City of Fitchburg approves the expenditure of funds from the Department of Fire Services Firefighter Safety Equipment Grant in the approximate amount of $4,650. Order that the be and hereby is appropriated from available funds the sum of $225,000 for police personal services overtime. There was the next order, 035-25, is essentially money moving around the City of Fitchburg Police Department budget, a number of different things in the amount of $57,000 from police personal services, patrolmen to equipment repair, various expenses, and building maintenance. It was unanimously approved. And 036-25 ordered that the City of Fitchburg hereby appropriate and transfer the sum of $50,000 from reserve for other municipal purposes, capital expenses, to police capital improvements, building renovations, which was unanimously approved.
Take a motion to accept.
Second.
Motion and second. If there's no objection, it is unanimously approved. We have two orders, both referred to the Finance Committee. 161-25, order that the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of Mosaic grant funds from the Mass DPH Bureau of Substance Addiction Services in the approximate amount of $40,000 for the purpose of said grant, which is to address the opioid overdose crisis by providing medical supplies in connection to services. And 062-25, order that the City of Fitchburg hereby appropriate the sum of $102,210 from reserve for other municipal purposes capital expenses to police capital vehicle replacement. Both of those stand referred to the Finance Committee. Lastly, we have the final reading of a loan order. Bear with me a moment. Loan order number 160-24, which was ordered by this council on September 17th, 2024, and authorized a borrowing of $12,700,000 for various water projects, is hereby amended by replacing it in its entirety to read as follows. Ordered that $11,400,000 aggregate amount is appropriated for the following projects, including all costs incidental and related thereto, which amount may be apportioned to such projects as needed to accomplish the projects. Number one, rehabilitation and or upgrade of the Meeting House, Gatehouse, and Mare Meadow Pump Station at the estimated cost of $4,300,000. Two, Main Street Water Main Replacement Project at an estimated cost of $4,500,000, which amount is expected to be used in addition to certain American Rescue Plan Act funds available for the project. 3, regional water treatment plant roof replacement and/or weatherproofing project at an estimated cost of $850,000, and 4, water main replacement project at an estimated cost of $1,750,000. And that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $11,400,000 under General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 8, or any other enabling authority. That the mayor is authorized to contract for and expend any federal or state aid available for the projects. That the mayor is authorized to take any other action necessary to carry out the projects. And that the treasurer is authorized to file an application with the Municipal Finance Oversight Board to qualify under Chapter 44A of the General Laws any or all of the bonds authorized by this order, and to provide such information and execute such documents as the Municipal Finance Oversight Board may require for these purposes.
Right.
Motion to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councillor Fleming?
Yes.
Councillor Green?
Yes.
Councillor Schultz?
Yes.
Councillor Van Hazinga?
Yes.
Councillor Walsh?
Yes.
President Zarella?
Yes.
Councillor Bolsherman?
Yes.
Councillor Kuchar?
Yes.
Councillor Cragan?
Yes.
Councillor Cruz?
Yes.
That passes 10 members.
Thank you very much. That concludes our business for the
The
evening.
motion adjourned.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Seeing no objections, we are adjourned.